Hi everybody, this is your week one wake-up call for English 101 College Composition. The wake-up calls are just what I'd call our weekly announcements where I let you know everything that's going to be due for the upcoming week, any pertinent announcements or information that you need in order to be successful. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Goodrich. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of English at WSU. I've actually been working for WSU since 2003. I was on the Pullman campus in the English department for a long time, teaching pretty much every writing class that the department offers. For quite a while, I also taught in the Digital Technology and Culture degree program where I taught digital storytelling. But about 2 years ago, I switched to online teaching and I moved from Pullman to Northern California, basically to take care of a family member. And it's worked out really well to be able to teach online. Um, so I have to say though, I really commiserate with all of you who are, dealing with internet disruptions and all kinds of things because here I am living off the grid, and I do mean off the grid, and yet being able to connect with all of you with this great course. So if you're new to WSU, you may not be aware of the fact that just this fall we have switched over from Blackboard Learning Management System to Canvas. And I'm super excited about this. I like Canvas a lot. So when you access your courses, you can do it through your My WSU page, or you can go to canvas.wsu.edu and it will take you to your dashboard where you will see those tiles, one tile for each of your courses that you're enrolled in. So when you click on English 101, it will take you to our homepage that looks like this. And there along the left side, you'll see all those tabs, which will navigate you to the important places in our course site. The very first thing you need to do is click on the syllabus and read that document carefully and thoroughly. Some of it you will recognize, it's consistent from class to class at WSU, but a lot of it is very germane to what we're doing. It's got our grading schedule, it's got the course objectives, how to contact me, all kinds of really important information that you need to know. If there's anything that seems confusing, that you're not sure what it's telling you, then please make a note of that and either post it in the Ask the Instructor discussion thread, which I'll show you in just a minute, or send it to my email at rgoodrich.wsu.edu. So after you've read the syllabus, then navigate to the course schedule and just read down that schedule and get a sense for about how much work you'll be expected to do each week, what kinds of assignments we'll be doing, when things are due. And here is the first week in that course schedule. So you'll see that we have an assigned textbook. It's called The Academic Writer. The author is Lisa Eade, and we are using the 5th edition. Now, in theory, the bookie should have that book. I've been notified by a couple of people that they don't seem to have it. So I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, as soon as possible, go online to one of the online booksellers, see if you can find it and order it. I'm also going to photocopy chapters 1 and 4 and post them under announcements in the discussion thread so that you have those available to you. I'm not going to do that every week because I hope by next week all of you have the textbook, but we'll make sure that you have those readings to be able to do them by the end of the week. So by Wednesday, please read those chapters. In a minute, I'll show you the whole list of information that's located in the lesson or the module. By Sunday, you have an article to read in perusal. Now, I'll show you also what perusal is. So you can see right away that this course is scheduled around Wednesdays and Sundays. So the week begins on Monday. By Wednesday, you have some reading to do, some information to glean, and then by Sunday, you typically have something that you have to have posted online. Every week is not identical though, so be careful and check the course schedule each week so you know what's due. If you click on the Modules tab, you'll see something like this for every week. So here's your week one, and each one of these is a link that you can click on that will take you to more information. So work through lesson 1.1, talking a little bit about class introductions and the whole idea of visual analysis, which is a really fun and fascinating concept and will be the basis for your first assignment submission. There's a description of your project one, so the first thing you'll be working on. And so read through that carefully, read the instructions. You have that one discussion post due today, this week. It's called Class Introductions and Visual Analysis. If you click on that, it will take you to the discussion page, and in a minute I'll show you the information that you need to complete that. We're also going to be using this thing called Perusal. Now, Perusal is what's known as a social reading platform. And you might not think of reading as a particularly social type of activity, but Perusal allows you to engage with other people who are reading the same thing. So there are the instructions for Perusal. It will help you make sure that you're signed up and can access it. And there is the article that you're going to read in Perusal. When you open up Perusal, this is what it looks like. Well, I have to say, this is what my page looks like. I'm not entirely sure yours is identical to this, but you will see the list of readings. You'll see when they're due. You'll see how you can open them. All right, so the first one that you'll read this week is called Composition as a Rite of Passage. Now, I have to say, none of these readings are overly technical or complicated, but they're all extraordinarily useful and practical. So I think you will really enjoy all of the readings that we're going to do in Perusal. When you click on the reading, you'll get this page. And so you see you have the text there along the left, and then on the right, you have essentially a dialogue box or column where you can engage in conversation with other people. So there's so many ways that you can use this. Let's say that you read a sentence or a passage that really resonates with you. You know, you want to remember it, maybe to refer back to it. So you highlight it, and that will show up there in that column on the right. The fact that you've highlighted it, and then you can make some comment. Maybe you can you're just saying, I agree with this. Maybe it reminds you of some experience that you've had that really aligns with this particular piece of information. You know, maybe you disagree with it. Maybe you say, you know, I respectfully disagree with this. This does not align with, you know, the experiences that I've had. Or, you know, I see this a little bit differently. You know, here's how I see this particular information. All kinds of different ways that you can interact with this text. And so as you begin to read this, you'll see other people's comments. You can interact with them as well. You can ask questions. You can dialogue with them, add to their understanding. There's all different ways. It's really as if you're sitting there having a good conversation about a piece of writing, only unfortunately you're not face to face. You're doing this asynchronously, but it's the next best thing. And I'll be jumping in and participating in these discussions as well. You must make at least 2 annotations for every article that we read. I mean, that just really motivates and encourages you to get into these, to read them, and to interact with them. Once again, if you have any questions about this, be sure that you post in the Ask the Instructors discussion thread. The last thing that I'm going to show you today are just a few things that are kind of useful for you that might help you at some point in the semester. So we will be using the WSU libraries, and there are some links that will connect you to the main library page. You have librarians basically at your beck and call that you can set up a Zoom meeting, talk with them face-to-face, or you can email them with questions, you know, having anything to do with library services. How do you get an interlibrary loan book? How do you look up an article on a particular topic? All sorts of things you might want to know. And there are the links that will help you connect with that. This is something that I really think is neat that WSU does. If you are experiencing any sort of barriers to be able to get the equipment or materials that you need to be successful in a course, there are resources available to you. The Student Emergency Fund, there is a link to the request form if something comes up and you're unable to get, say, textbooks or whatever it is that you need. You can actually apply for financial assistance. They have a program where the university will loan out Chromebooks. So if you don't have a computer or your computer, you know, decides to die the first week of classes, you can actually check out and borrow a computer to use for the semester. So check out those links and see what's available for you. There's tutoring. Please look into this. Don't be afraid to connect with the WSU Writing Center or tutoring to get help with any of the projects, research, writing, for any of your classes. Okay, so there you go. That should help you get started with that. I will be holding office hours every week starting the second week of classes on Tuesdays from 10 to 12. You can also set up office hours by creating an appointment with me via my email. I know that we're not all in the same time zone or even on the same continent, so that particular time period may not work for you, but I'm very happy to accommodate you, and I would be happy to set up a Zoom meeting, or we can use the chat feature in Canvas to talk in real time. So next week's wake-up call, I will include the link to the Zoom office hours meeting, and you can just click on that and jump in and talk with me face-to-face. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always contact me via email at rgoodrich. If it is a question pertaining to course content or something having to do with the course site, I'd appreciate it if you would post it in the Ask the Instructor discussion thread. If you click on discussions, you'll see that. That way, other people in the course can benefit from my answer. All right, well, that's all I have for you this week. I look forward to interacting with you this week and the rest of the semester. So good luck, and we'll talk to you later.